wish for some of the series?
I wish all the time.
Do you ever wish that some of the series that you've done had gone on longer, had more episodes?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. That's the one thing to me, I don't quite get about anime is, you know, there are 13 episodes or 26 episodes or longer, 52, whatever. But you know, Sergeant Frog is what, 300 something,
and ongoing.
And ongoing, you know. So I don't understand why, but yeah. I'd love it if, because one of the things that I've always, and I hate to say this, but I've always been disappointed in anime in this one respect. The endings to the episodes, like the very last episode, just always kind of disappointed me. It's just like, it's not like it had some great ending that, you know, it just kind of, well, we're out of ideas, that's it. Good night. Yeah, perfect example. Perfect example, Air Gear. I mean, we're watching that, I'm just going, cool, cool, cool. Oh. What a disappointment.
It's often because, well, Dohak's a different case, that varies in some places, because sometimes, like Air Gear, for example, I don't think the manga had finished at that point.
Right.
I mean, it's like taking a novel series, like it would be like Peter Jackson going, I love The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings Book 1, I'm going to make films out of it now. I don't know how it's going to end yet, so I'll just make 2 films. And like, trying to pick up from there is a nightmare. You're giving like Brazil or such, which are, you know, Evangelion was an entertaining case actually, which isn't entirely true. So they've remade the ending, 4 times now?
Yeah.
So.
The director's wife's cut.
Yeah. Everyone and their cow has a cut of it now. But when you're adapting endings and such, like often the flattest endings are ones where the show hasn't ended yet. Like it's always one of those hard ones as well. Because, I feel disappointed sometimes.
Yeah, and you know that's actually that was made me think of this when we were talking about live action from anime too. You know, that's the other thing. Even you've got a 26 episode or 48 episode or however many episodes, and you're trying to make a live action movie out of that. Well, you know, are you going to pick one of the episodes and make a movie out of that? Or are you going to combine them? Or, you know, sometimes I think they just pick the oddest elements to combine to throw in, you know, and you're like, well, what about Gesundheit? What about this and what about that? And it's like, well, we decided, you know, he doesn't have those powers anymore. It's like, what? You know, why? You know, and so it's certainly choices that you make, and it just is disappointing. It's, you know, you can't fill 26 episodes into a 2-hour movie.
Interestingly, for something like the fabled Evangelion live-action films, the actual guy who wrote the script initially for them as a proposal, Jonathan Clements, pointed out that like he rewrote a lot of the script perspective, and sometimes maybe it just takes a different perspective, because his initial pitch was you look at it from Asuka's perspective from the beginning. So at the beginning of the show, you don't see the whole Evangelion 1 launch thing, for example. You're following her from Germany, so she only really arrives into the show partway through. So we'd follow her, and when they came back and said we'd like to do, what if we wanted to do 3 films, around the time the Transformers movie really took off, he went, well, you know, you look at the first film from someone else's perspective, and they basically rewriting the perspective. It takes a really smart scriptwriter to come back to it and go, who understands the source material to rewrite it to an extent, I suspect. And 90% of the time what you have is the stereotypical Hollywood scriptwriter who sees dollar signs in front of his eyes and this magical merchandising cash cow. And it doesn't really care if Goku is in fact no longer a monkey creature or such, or it doesn't care if you know, there's a new character in Blood who has obviously been given a copy of the actual script, so they know what's going to happen next, for example, or such. It's a bit of a shame.
Yep.
What's the coolest costume you saw at NOM-CON so far?
I'm sorry?
What's the coolest cosplay you've seen at NOM-CON so far?
The coolest?
Yeah.
I'm looking at it right now. I've seen all kinds of great I don't want to single anyone out because then I will not single someone else out. But I think you all do a fantastic job with your costume. It boggles my mind, actually, how you all come up with this. Not come up with it, I mean, I know how you come up with it, but just, I mean, everyone builds. Did you make your own?
No.
No? Okay, no. You did.
She did.
So,
Hers is great.
did you make hers?
No.
Did you go to the cosplay store and buy yours, or?
Yes.
No, I just think I have the most respect for you all that do that. I remember I was at, was it Nikki-Con? It was Oni-Con in Houston. And I was walking down just walking around through the area and everything, and I saw this kid coming up, and he was from Air Gear. And I was like, I hadn't seen anything like that. And it was just like, whoa, that's so cool. He had on his skates and everything, his inlines, and was skating around, and I was like, man, that's just so creative. So there's some costumes I look at and just go, what were you thinking? But, I think it's fabulous. I think it's wonderful. So I have my little hat. Anyone else? Oh, I'm sorry. Have any done any very high-pitched characters? Well, low pitch, I mean, somebody like a Mr. or Crocodile. Yeah, but high-pitched, probably the highest pitch I've done is something like Lord Death. Or, yeah, probably something like that. I mean, I can't get too high. Sounds like Mickey Mouse or something. Oh, not there. Don't touch that. Oh, maybe once. Okay, maybe twice. I'll just go for it. Anyone else? Yeah?
I'm sorry.
Do you ever spontaneously break out into song?
Not ever until now. No, I don't. Although sometimes I'll tend to walk around and start mumbling characters to myself. I don't think I'll ever do that again. Stick it up your arse. Excuse me? Oh, I wasn't talking to you. Shut up, officer. I'm not much of a good singer. Although I used to be in a band. Called the PC Cowboys. It was a politically correct country western band. Yes, that's the reaction. It was a comedy band, actually. And we did such songs as, we had a song we wrote called Idaho. And the first line was, Idaho, but I lost her. To a welder named Foster. Yeah.
So any of that material online?
Yes, if you go to iTunes, you can look up PC Cowboys. We have 2 CDs out. And they're very funny, and you would put my kid through college if you bought, say, 10,000. Anyone? Yeah.
As a kid